Hello everyone, today Assetto Corsa Competizione 1.2 came out, and with that a few very nice additions to the sim. One of those being the new custom livery editor, which I'll show in a minute. But there used to be some form of that. It was a lot harder to do. You had to go into the game files, and also the car selection menu is a little bit different, as you can see here. To make your custom livery, you go to add right here, and then you can choose your car. I'm just going to be using the new Lamborghini for this video. And then you're brought up with this menu, which is fairly self-explanatory, but you can change your car number, you can change your team name, the nationality of the driver of the car. You can choose a design template. Some cars have more than others. Lambo has about 4 or 5. You can change the main sponsor of the car, and I noticed that the 2019 cars, they don't really have an obvious change. The only spot I noticed the sponsor actually changes on the rear wing for the newer cars. There's about maybe 14 or so different sponsors, and you can also change the cup class for your car, which I'll get to. Right now I'm flicking through the sponsors, and at this point I didn't actually know if it was doing anything, and then I looked on top, and I could only notice that the rear wing was where it was the only place where the sponsors were changing. Anyway, after I flick through the different sponsor types, I'll get onto the cup class. Alright, we'll go into the side of the car, and we can take a look just under the number. You'll notice that your car class will change. There's AM, Pro, Pro-Am, Silver, and the National class. But now we get into the more exciting stuff, where you change the colors of your car. And there's 3 main colors, and you can also change the paint types, which is pretty fun. There's that glossy, matte, metallic, chrome, and a few other variations. Some design templates don't include the third color. I don't know. I think I found a couple of cars that were like that, but in general, you got 3 main colors to choose from. And yeah, you can play around with that. You can also change the colors on the wheels and the wheel trim, and you can also change the paint type on those, which is always fun. And finally, you can change the LEDs on the car and the positions of the LEDs. Right now I'm just going through the colors. There's a set amount of colors, all with a different number, and then right at the bottom there's a bunch of different, more vibrant colors. As you can see, I think I'm just going to stick with the red, white, and black for now. But now I'm just going to take a quick look at the coloring on the wheels, and then I'll move on to the LEDs. And after that, we'll move on to the next part of the update. So as you can see right now, you can customize your car quite a lot, but it doesn't quite have the amount of customization that you might with games like old Assetto Corsa, where you could go into Photoshop and literally do anything you want with it. This is a much more set in stone. You can only change. You got a select amount of things you can do, but it's enough. It's fun, and you get to look a little bit different on the field. As you can see, I'm fiddling around with the LED positioning right now, and you can obviously change the color of that if you want to. Once you're done, you can save your livery, and then it'll go into your collection, where if you have other liveries, they'll all go into the same place, and you can select it from there. And I think about now we can move on to the next part of the update. I took a screenshot from some of the main changes in this update, and one of the things that stood out to me the most was the vehicle chassis flex simulation. I may have had some sort of influence on this. Basically, a few months back, I found this thing that was really bugging me. If you hit a curb in a particular way, it would send the whole car flying into the air like you're about to see, and it just felt extremely unnatural. And yeah, I think the video speaks for itself. So I made a bit of a thread in the forums and discussed this a tiny bit, and it looks like it was noticed and it was worked on, and I think they've done a very good job of fixing it, because this McLaren clip here, that's what it's like now. The car, it unsettles like it should a little bit on the curb, but it doesn't go flying into the air like it did before. Very good improvement there. The next part of the update, the AI have been improved. Before at Monza, as you're about to see, the AI would nearly 100% of the time take you out into the first corner. And all what you're seeing right here, this was all on the exact same lap. AI just going crazy, taking each other out. Lamborghini taking out the other car, and we've got another Lamborghini that's about to take out. Oh, actually no, I think the Mercedes does the damage in this scenario. Just way too hot into the first corner. Nearly every time that would end up happening. So that's been improved basically, and I'll get back to that in a second, but there's also something else I found, and you can now make single make races, which means you can make your own Porsche Cup races or Super Trofeo races. I think that's super cool. We didn't have this before. And it also looks like the car's loaded with a bunch of custom liveries. I'm racing as that car in focus right now, and we'll see once we get into the first corner that I'll actually be given room by the AI unlike before. So that's a very nice AI improvement. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to race against now. I'll probably make maybe a 10 or so minute race, just upload that on its own of the Porsche Cup, just to see how the AI behave. Coming into the first corner here, you can see everyone actually managed to get through nice and cleanly. No one punting anyone. Good fun. I really enjoy this car in the game. It doesn't get used enough. So anyway guys, that's some of the main changes in this update. I'll link the full changelog in the description. Thanks for watching. Let us know what else you want to see, and we'll see you next time.